Hi everyone, I wanted to do another video. This is the second card that we'll be doing at our class on Friday, which will be at my house from 1 to 7, and you can come at any time during that time frame. This is a quick, easy, very simple birthday card, more for a woman I would think, and it doesn't take long at all to put it together. There's no embossing, there's no cutting out really. And so I'll show you what all is involved. So in your packet, you will of course have your envelope. Excuse me. You will have a card base of Rococo rose. This is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. You will have a card layer of smoky slate. This is 4 by 5 1/4. You'll have a small piece of Rococo rose. This is about 1/2 inch by 5, and I have dry embossed it. And you will also have 2 sheets of regular Whisper White, which are 4 by 5 1/4. And then we'll have some pretty little blings to put on our card. We can either use the petal pink rhinestones, or we can use the in color dots from last year. So to begin with, on the 1/2 inch by 5 inch piece of Rococo rose, what I have done is I have dry embossed that with a embossing folder. These are actually, you get these 2 in a pack. They're actually called wrapped in textures. They're the smaller size. The reason for that is before too long, Stampin' Up! Is coming out with a smaller desk size die cutting and embossing machine. It's not available yet, and I don't really have any notifications, but it is going to be a great little machine to have, and it won't take up a whole lot of room. I happen to choose to use the embossing folder that has the little dots. The other one is kind of like just a weaved, textured weave folder. Actually shows up fairly well on the camera. The stamp set we are using is called Tasteful Touches. It's a great stamp set, extremely popular. You'll see lots of this stamp set used on items on Pinterest. And then I'm using designer series paper that I didn't show you, did I? Let me go grab it real quick. I think I left it over on my table. I can't seem to get everything together like I need to, and actually I may even need to cut one. So we'll just do that real quick like. So this is the pattern I'm using. This paper is, you get a lot in it, and there's tons and tons of patterns. I'll pull it out here and show you real quick what all, some of them that are in here. You have a lot of brick patterns, wood frame, just lots of grays, browns. Here's a weaved paper, again, wood grain. Here's a, I don't know, what would you call that? Just little designs on it. And then we have some kind of like plaster wall. So it's just a real fun pattern, and very versatile and very neutral. So here's the one that we're using. And then here's one with a kind of a, I don't know what you call those, but it's very different. And I really do like it. And you get, this particular pack, you get a lot more sheets than we normally do in a pack. So for the pink part on our card, we're actually going to cut it at 2 inches by 4 inches. So I'm going to cut this down to 2. And then we'll cut it down to 4. So you can get a lot of sheets of this out of each 12 by 12 page. And by 4. Okay, there we go. All right, we won't need a trimmer. So that's what you'll also get. So what we're going to do, and to do the stamping, we are going to be using Stamparatus. And let me see if this is the right one. Oh gosh, I'm sorry guys, I'm not very well prepared. This is my second video today, so I'm pushing the envelope here a wee bit. Let me go grab my Stamparatus real quick. I wanted to get at least 2 cards to show you, to do videos on for our card class. I will not have time to get the 3rd one done because I'll be cutting packets tomorrow, but it will be a Christmas card. I can promise you that. Okay, we'll put these over here. So here's our flower and our birthday, and I'm going to change it up a little bit. On the sample, I did kind of a, well, it's actually Sahara Sand. It's more of a brownish tone, and we're going to be using that particular ink pad on another card, so I don't have 2 to go around. So on this one, we're going to do a gray, which is called Smoky Slate. I have this all ready to go, and we will get this inked up in the Smoky Slate. We'll do all our stamping, get that out all the way first. And then we will put this away. And we will do our inside, which just says, celebrating you is the best. And we'll stamp that down. And we're done with that. Now let's see if I forgot another stamp, which I did. Boy, I'm going to have to make me a checklist or something so I remember to get all these stamps. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Thank you for waiting. I'm sorry. So this is just a little design stamp that I stamped on the middle of this card. And I'm also going to stamp it on our envelope, just to dress it up a little bit. Okay, there's that. You never want to have a naked envelope when you have a beautiful handmade card. You want to dress everything up and kind of tie it all together. So there is our envelope for this card. Okay, now it's just a matter of putting it together. And like I say, this goes very, very quickly. Sorry, my glue is stuck. Okay. So we will take, first of all, before we, I guess before I do any gluing, I should put on the, we will put on the Designer Series paper piece at the bottom of our front layer. And so it's just a matter of putting a little bit of glue on here. We will line this up at the bottom. There's no white border on this. We're going clear down to the bottom, matching it up and getting it on there without having any white overhang. Okay, and then we will take our strip here, and we're going to put some glue on this. Put my sheet down here so I don't get glue all over my paper. And the only thing when you're putting this down is just make sure you don't cover up any part of your birthday, and try to get it somewhat straight. Sometimes I have to look at it to see if I think it's pretty straight. I'm not so sure that my 1/2 inch piece is cut very straight, but that's okay. Well, we'll call it good. Okay, then we'll take our scissors. I always trim this off. I always make them longer than they need to be, just so that we can trim them off and there's no white borders showing, especially on this one because we're going side to side. Okay. All right. And now we will take this piece. I've done, I think I can get by with that. And we will put this on our gray sheet. Now, you have very, very 1/8 of an inch tiny border on this, and so that's why I use the green glue, because I like to have a little wiggle room, because 1/8 of an inch is a pretty narrow margin, and with the seal, Stampin' Seal, once you put it down, it's pretty well down. Push this over just a wee bit. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we will now we'll put our inside layer in. Let me put our, whoops, sorry for the noise. Card base down, fold our card base. Open it back up. We'll put our, this one I'm just using the Stampin' Seal. Because you have a 1/4 inch border on this one, and it's a little easier. 1/4 inch is much easier than 1/8 of an inch. And we will put it down like that. And we will, I'm going to use liquid on this again, because again, you only have 1/8 of an inch border. Sorry, I'm getting out of frame there a little bit, sorry. We'll open this up, line it up on our grid paper, and we will get this stuck down. Okay. Now the other thing I did, I took the Wink of Stella, and we've used this a lot. It's just a kind of a glittery paint. And I just went around all the edges of the flower and colored it in, just to give it a little added sparkle. And because this is a pretty simple, plain and simple card, although there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't take you long to put one together, and people still think it's beautiful, and so I kind of like them occasionally. I have a tendency to go the other way, make them too difficult, put on too much, and then it takes a long time for me to make the card, and I'm like, oh, am I ever going to get this card done? So, and if you really like this, you can always let it just dry for just a few seconds and then go over it twice. I'll see if you can see any of that sparkle on there. I don't know if you can or not. It's hard for me. And now my camera doesn't want to. Okay. Then the only other thing we have to do is put on our gems. And I think for this one, I'm going to use the faceted dots. And so what I did is I took one of the medium-sized ones, but you could use any size. I put that in the corner. And then I took 2 of the small ones, and I just kind of made a little triangle pattern right up here in the corner, just to dress it up a wee bit. And I think that's probably the fastest card I've ever done. That's all there is to it. It makes a beautiful, quick and easy birthday card to get something in the mail for you. So this is the second one of the 2 cards we'll be making on Friday. I hope you can join me. I've got a nice group coming, and if you do want to come, I need to know by the end of today whether you want to come or not, and so that I can cut a pack up for you. So that's it for today. You have a great evening, and God bless each one of you. Bye-bye.